Hello everyone! Today, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create some wrinkle maps from a model that you get from Polywink. If you don't know what Polywink is, I advise you to go on polywink.com. Polywink is an online platform where you can upload your head model. You will then have the possibility to receive a head with hundreds of blend shapes to make your own facial rig, or also some facial blend shape for iOS devices using the latest iPhone X technology, and also a fully rigged head compliant with Maya. In this tutorial, we will start with a set of blend shapes, and we will modify this character in Zbrush to create some wrinkle maps. Let's get started. In this scene on Maya 2018, I have a goblin character that we're currently working on as a demo project. As you can see, we have a blend shape node with a lots of different expressions that have been already transferred to our character. You can see various things such as jaw movement, eyebrows movement, eyelid movement, etc. and etc. I'm just showing you some of the shapes so you can get a better idea of what we have right now in your hand. The idea now is we want to create a wrinkle map based on a certain extreme position of our face. Then we will export our model to Zbrush, where we can sculpt all the wrinkles and detail that we want for our wrinkle map. As you can see here, we are looking at the compressed shape. It's already looking pretty good, but since we have a fantastic character, we will want to try to make things a bit more dramatic. Here you have some example of my face doing this particular expression, and it's really useful for you to have some reference of this, even if it's for a cartoony character or this fantastic character. It's still good to have some reference. You cannot see, but along with my computer I have a mirror, and it's maybe the best reference that you can get. So right now I'm using PureRef. It's a little software that allows you to have your reference always on your desktop. And now I'm just going to add some more variation with some other blend shapes. I will close the eye a little bit, lower the eyebrow a bit more. The idea is that we had a shape that was transferred automatically, and now with some more adjust we can make something, as I said, a bit more dramatic, which will help us to create some more important wrinkle maps. And whenever you're ready, you are able to export the model. Without further ado, let's switch to Zbrush. Here we have a scene where our character has few layers. The first one, the fine details, is the layer where we sculpt all the detail of the skin. We have also two procedural layers that add some bumps to make a bit more of breakup on the skin. What we will do is to deactivate all the layer This will allow us to sculpt the detail of the expression without erasing the fine details, and we will bring them back at the end of the work. So I'm creating a new layer named compressed. I'm going back to the last level of subdivision, and I'm importing the compressed expression that we did in Maya. Here we go. Now I can go to the highest level of subdivision and we can start a work. If we look at the reference, I've got lots of wrinkles around my eyes, around the nose, around the eyebrow and the jaw. Let's work on that. Now I'm focusing on the eyebrow. I'm trying to get a bit more volume and to reduce the difference between the nose and the eyebrow. I'm then trying to add some of the shape that are surrounding my eyes and joining to the nose. And as you can see here, I'm trying to add some volume to match this central area with two main wrinkles that you can see right there. I'm also trying to give more volume to the different folds that are created when our character or our reference is doing this shape. Do not hesitate to exaggerate this volume a little bit, so you will get a more intense result in the wrinkle maps. As you can see here, when I'm happy with the result of the volume for this fold, I'm switching to the Dame Standard tool and I'm starting to block out the main wrinkle. By doing this, I'm able to draw the shape, and I can later on add some volume with the clay brush, the clay build-up brush. My tips here is to use a very low intensity, like around 6. And I do this because I prefer to add more stroke and to have a result that is more subtle. So as you can see here, I'm increasing it, and make sure that the edge for the wrinkle are very defined. I can then smooth things a little bit to make a better transition, and time to time I'm switching between the levels from level 3 to level 4 in order to smooth things a little bit without losing too much detail of the volume. There is many different folds around the corner of the eye. Those ones are very tricky to sculpt, so I will, try to do the main one, because our character is a bit cartoony and not that realistic. As I said earlier, I have some reference pictures of my face, but to be honest, it's even more helpful and easy to look on the mirror. I have one on my left, and I'm not switching that much in my reference, because my mirror helped me to get a good understanding on how my skin is working, because I can do the expression, look at it, and I can see which part of my face are actually moving. So it's really a good help to do this work with the mirror. Now I'm going to focus on the neck area. This part is very important if you want to add some extreme expression to your character, because even if they are not on the face, most of the time when you're doing such an extreme position, when your character is angry or, you know, shouting or something like that, it will add a bit more realism if the neck is moving. It's not, maybe not something that will spot on an animation, because your eye will probably focus on the eye of the characters or the mouth of the character, but those are the little things that, you know, it take me like 5 minutes to do some wrinkle and some shape, some folding shape on this part of the character, but it will add a little bit more realism later on. Now we are happy with what we have. We had a lot of fold, of wrinkle on the expression, and start to look really nice. So now it's time for adding more fine details. So as you can see here, I'm going to play a little bit with the layers just to get a feeling of how this expression look like, and it's cool to have the result on a high poly mesh, so you can get a better idea of how the wrinkle and the fold are pushing the model. It's really nice. First, it's nice to see this working. It's pleasant for us since we spent 20 minutes to do it, but it also allows me to see if everything is in place, if I'm not, moving things too far. And now I'm ready to add the details. So as you can see, that's the beauty of it. We've got all the detail that we had previously, like on the mouth, on the eye, the skin texture is there. And we're not going to, add some detail in the wrinkles, because the wrinkles we need to be a bit more dramatic on this part. So let's create a new layer. That will focus exclusively on detailing the wrinkles. So I'm using the Dame standard once again. I'm lowering the intensity because I want things to be a bit subtle, and we are just doing it again, overlaying the wrinkles with this small Dame standard pass, and that's what brings all the little wrinkles. And one thing that is important is that if you have some pores, it's really good to connect the pores by drawing this line between them, because it's how it happened actually. Your wrinkles are, connecting the skin, the pore of your skin. And as you can see, I'm going to do this for the whole model. The model is symmetric. I did not point this in earlier, but it's less work for me. But if you had like a realistic character, you obviously had to do it twice if it's not symmetrical. So I try to stay very subtle, but I could increase the intensity and get a result which is even more dramatic. It's depending on what you are expecting. So basically it helped us to get Polywink because we were able to, you know, spend like just 5 minutes, even less, in Maya to create the shape, and then it only took us 30 minutes in Zbrush to sculpt the actual faces. And if we had to do it by hand from scratch, it might have taken clearly more time to create the first expression, the compressed one. And so as you can see here, we have just one expression, but when you're considering buying something on Polywink, you will get hundreds of blend shapes, so it's that much time that you can get on every character times hundreds of blend shapes. Finally, I bake my normal map out of Zbrush, but you can use any other software that you want, Nard, Marmoset or Substance Painter, anything really. The idea now is we have two maps, one for the natural face and one for the compressed face. As you can see here, I'm looking the difference between the two, and you will find on the screen all the wrinkle and the fold that we sculpted back in Zbrush. Et voila! Now, with this character, we will do some other video about how to use the iPhone rig, for example, how to animate a face using a Polywink rig, how to use the iPhone rig in Unreal Engine, and how we can manage to record real-time animation on the character rigged from Polywink, and many more things. So I would advise you to subscribe to our channel if you're interested in this subject, and we'll see you in a new video. Bye!